right. Hold on. Everyone can hear me? I hope. God. Why is the volume so low? Ding ding dong. That's the testing. Hello, hello, hello. Hi everyone. And welcome to the end of the month hangout. Normally, I have a video out for all of you before the end of the month hangout. But my next video is going to be out on Tuesday, hopefully. Maybe Thursday, maybe Wednesday if things don't go all the way. But it should be out on Tuesday. Hi everyone. Hope you're doing well, and welcome to the hangout. Ding dong. Let me know how the volume is, and if everything sounds fine. I have spent the last 3 days, and I will spend the next 2 days in editing hell. So that's what I've been doing, fixing up my hour-long fucking video about Russia. I'm obsessed with this shirt. I just happen to be wearing it. Hi everyone. Hello. I posted about it like once. It's a good shirt. If you're new to this, if you're new to the sort of like hangout format, the way it works is there's no rules. We just hang the fuck out and then we talk shit for like about an hour. We also try to talk about the month that's coming and the month that has the previous month and the month that's up ahead, to sort of like, you know, give a little bit of a status check on the channel and content and whatnot, to give you a sort of like insight. And I not a lot has happened, but a little bit. We love to mech videos. What is, Abby, what is mech? I don't know what that means. And also I tried to read some letters because I think that's fun. I don't have a lot of letters right now. I have a little bit. Oh, to make videos. That makes sense. Snazzy 70s Let's Play. It works. Let's talk very quickly about the month that has been. The previous month in me and Mulder creation content. I have previous in the month I talked a lot of shit about like working in a studio space, and I did shoot a little bit in the studio space. I experimented a little bit in the studio space, shot for 2 days, and things like that, things of that nature. And after having been in the studio space for like a couple of for like a day or so, it doesn't work for the kind of stuff that I want to do. Unfortunately, it really sucks. Because it's a great studio space, it's run by wonderful people, but there's a certain like vibe I want for my videos, and that the vibe was not there. The vibe there was very much like NGO making a like video presentation for their like corporate sponsors, which is great. That's a great vibe to have, but it's not the vibe I want for a YouTube video. So unfortunately, I am well, depending on how you view it, I guess, I'm still making videos in my in my bedroom. So the quest for what do you call it, for studio space where I can record videos in the future is still ongoing, unfortunately. On the other hand, in the last month I have I have made, or rather I am continuing to make my video on time, which I have spent 1 month reading about, and then 1 month making a script around, and then realizing at the end that it doesn't work as well as I thought it would. So it is what it is. We'll see how that turns out. And speaking of which, the month that is coming up, I haven't released a video in 2 months, which is a long time for me. But I am going to. I'm going back to the old-fashioned format of releasing a video every month, and how do you say? The next video is going to be out on probably on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on how things work out, but probably on Tuesday, and then we're gonna see that video. The YouTube algorithm is screaming at me as we speak. It is. It very, very much is. I can say though that like ever since I got my fucking like YouTube plaque with like the 100,000 subscriber thing in it, haven't looked at analytics that much, so that's good. Even though they're probably checking out, like they're probably screaming at my shit right now. Even though right now I'm editing this hour-long bullshit video for release and feeling the stress, unfortunately. But I also have a fucking PO box. Last month we read some letters, and we're gonna do the same thing today. I don't have a lot of them, but I have a few. And first off, someone sent me The Dawn of Everything, A New History of Humanity by David Graeber in the fucking PO box. Which is fucking insane. So thank you for that, whoever just decided to order a book from me. I appreciate it. David Graeber's fun. So you know, thank you so much for this. Thank you so much. I did also get another letter that from reading it, I don't think it's meant to be read on stream, so I won't. It came in this little card, but it did come with some nice drawings that I'm pretty sure I can show. For example, I'm not sure you can even see that, but maybe if I do something like that, a little drawing of me, which I always love and appreciate, and a drawing of me, and also Salem, who is my podcast co-host, and who I play video games with occasionally. So that is the letter. The letter stuff is that's the letter box for today. So thank you for that. Thank you so much. I think it's really, really cool. All right, let's see what chat is saying. We've already essentially done all the formalities. We don't, again, no rules except some rules, and the only rules that exist we've already kind of dealt with. Talking about the month that has been, the month that's coming up. It's fine. It's all good stuff. And now we have 50 more minutes to fill. All right. Oh. Have I watched Contra's new video? I haven't, unfortunately. It came out like what, yesterday evening. I worked all day this weird Sunday. I'm probably not gonna have time to view it until the end of next week, essentially, because I have a lot of fucking work. People say that YouTubing is like no work, and it's true. Like, it is one of the most privileged jobs positions in the entire world. but it's a lot of fucking work. Never look at analytics. That is, you know. I honestly don't. Like, I feel like I've reached the only milestone that I actually sort of like 100,000 subscribers. It's one of those numbers that is like, I'm still kind of in shock about it. I reached it like 2 months ago. But I'm still kind of in shock about having reached that like insanely high number, because like that's too many fucking people. So now the graphs don't mean anything to me. They're all super cute. We stand still. Didn't know you could send books to POs. You can send anything, yeah. Like, yeah. Chibi Mia hugging some maps would be very good. What is going on with Turkey and Sweden and NATO and arms sales? Is Sweden going to start selling arms now to Turkey? I mean, probably. Like, unfortunately, probably. But like right now, there's a Swedish delegation in Turkey right now, I think, and they're talking about like how to get Sweden into NATO, because Turkey is essentially saying that they want us to deport like Kurdish politicians who are like in opposition to Erdogan, and to sell weapons to the Turkish military so that they can, you know, use them to bomb Kurdish villages and shit. But yeah, like so I have no idea. Hopefully fucking we don't change our entire foreign policy stance so that we can be part of NATO, but you know, God knows. The graphs are just math, and math is horrible. I have so much math in my next video. There's more math in my next video than I probably ever had in any video, because I don't fucking do math. Do I look like a person who does math? I look like a person who goes to art school and fails because they're too into history. Can send you a pretty burger. $100,000 is a great sweet spot where things aren't insane but they're real. That's something that I've noticed too. Like I feel like I'm in a weird position now where I can make a living out of having a YouTube channel, and I'm fine. It's, you know, it's not, I don't make the most money in the whole world, but I make okay. Like, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. But at the same time, I feel like there's no so like on that point it's fine, but at the same time I also don't get like harassed by like super weird people on Twitter like every day, which I feel like would happen more if the more people I had following me. So, you know, it's one of those things. Can I send you a new pickle hub? Probably. Can't do math as a scientific fact. It's true. It's Malden Town. God. I am an historian, yes. My next video is going to be very much about history. Like it's a very history focused video. But apparently I've done a lot of those recently. I only realized like yesterday that I haven't made a trans focused video in over a year, or like a personal trans video. I think I made like, you know, my one on trans women in sports and stuff, but that's not like personal, emotional dramatise. So my next video after that is going to be at that. Do you have a wish list? I should get one of those Amazon wish lists. But I feel like has that fallen out of form? Because I feel like people used to do that a lot more back in like 2016, 2017. I feel like that back then it was more socially acceptable to have an Amazon wish list. Now I don't. First of all, don't really want to use Amazon at all, and second of all, it just feels bad for him. You have a national Volksmarine cap? Listen, I don't know about that one. I don't want to ask for gifts though. That's the that's the thing. That's also why I don't necessarily want to have a sort of wish list thing, because I like having a PO box is fine, because I occasionally there will be people who be like, hey, can I send you a letter? And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to give out my real address, so the PO box is there. But I don't want to be one of those people who sort of like give me stuff. Even on my Patreon, I'm like, you know, don't give me money unless you really, really want to, because I feel like it's one of those. I'd hate to become one of those creators who like gives orders to their audience, if you know what I mean. Like, if people want to support, that's one thing, you know. But I would never sort of like be like, hey, can I please give me this object that I want? I was like, no. It feels weird to me. One, two, three, a lot. Was there a specific focus or niche you got into? Yeah, I started like history of sexuality and gender. It's actually really interesting. The history of like sexology generally is really good. And because it's just a lot, it's just very interesting because it really, it's a nice transitionary stage in the 1800s from sort of moral arguments against sort of what we would today call LGBT people, and like more scientific arguments. Because on one hand, I feel a lot of people know about like the basics of eugenics, but it's to me very interesting to sort of pick a very narrow slice of how that actually manifests itself. And I feel like sexuality and gender is really interesting. Because it's something that impacts essentially like every layer of society, whereas more like traditional eugenics I feel like is oftentimes focused on like the other. So if white people studying eugenics it very much is presented in a sense of like what we did to other people, but when it comes to like sexuality and gender and things like that, it's very much a thing of like, oh, eugenics impacted everyone, every single strata of society, and I feel like that's interesting, because it offers like another perspective on the whole thing, which I think is kind of missing in a lot of history academia. Twitch though, yeah. You'll become a fallen number bookcase. You're not wrong. The money platform. I'm like, yeah, don't give me money. Yeah. It's really bad business because I need to promote. I haven't promoted my Patreon like directly. Like I say it in the credits of my videos, being like, hey, can you, like, if you like my stuff, feel free to give me some money. It's really fucking bad business decision. I should ask for more money, but at the same time, I don't want to be a creep. So, What would you study if you didn't go the history route? Probably nothing. I almost went down archaeology for a while. Archaeology was like something that I was kind of interested in for a long time. So that is, yeah, that's something that I feel like I maybe would have gone into, but that's also still like kind of history focused. Not technically, because as every archaeologist will tell you, history and archaeology are two different fields, and they're right, but it's one of those things that, you know, you're still talking about the past, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't really know what else I would have gone into. I feel like history was always like my thing. Especially like in later high school. Like the first year of high school, I was very much still in the mindset of like, I'm going to become an engineer and become an astronaut. But then I became enlightened and awakened, and I realized that I can't actually do that stuff. So it's more fun to get into history. Especially since I feel like history, to me at least, is this wonderful sort of like, it's perfect for the kind of person that I am, because it's about essentially being a smartass. Oh, thank you. Shit. I have monetization on this channel. Shit. Oh, thank you, Aria. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I'm gonna get a dab for that one because I'm stuck in 2003. What am I saying? What was I talking about? Because not only do you have to talk about like how, not only do you have to be knowledgeable about like whatever subfield you're into, you sort of have to be knowledgeable a little bit about everything. So you need to understand a little bit about like geopolitics, a little bit about like general politics, a little bit about economics, a little bit about like philosophy, a little bit about gender studies. Like you sort of have to like dip your pen in many different pots to understand like the wider context of an historical event. And to me, who's always been a fucking smartass, who's always been a fucking asshole, that's something that I really like. That's something that I think is fun. I'm just tempting me like old stuff. No. I say all of this, by the way, knowing full well that knowing a little bit about like a lot of different things means that you don't know anything about any one specific thing. Like, if you ask me anything about like actual philosophy, I'm like, I don't know. I still fully don't understand what phenomenology is. And I never will. You're just never wrong in philosophy. How about making some mulder LFTs? God in heaven. Back in like 2015, I did consider making a fake cryptocurrency. Like I honestly considered like looking into how to make your own like fake cryptocurrency, and essentially doing a rug pull scam. I considered it. I never did it, and I considered it due to because I knew at the time that the only people who like seriously invest in fucking crypto things are like weird people who are obviously scam artists themselves, and I also knew that it was fucking fake. I knew it was all bullshit. And it was like in 2015 to 2016, like a little bit before the actual like Bitcoin bubble, the first one. So yeah. was a good storyteller about those pieces. That's also a reason why I think I went to art school as well, and then eventually started a YouTube channel about it, because I feel like that's an important part about history, that in order to like tell intricate stories about why the world is the way it is right now. The problem is, and I'm sure a lot of history YouTubers will agree with this, is that so much of like history communication, science communication has this problem too, but like history communication is really, really bad at this. And that is that there's a perception that history is about map go change, as me and Tristan Johnson from Step Back History like to say. And like how the map has changed over the years, and like who has been in charge of kingdoms, and like what kind of people have been in charge of other people, that is part of history, but it's not like what makes history. It's not what makes it actually like interesting. And that's something that I also struggle with here, because like when I make videos on history, they tend to not do as well. Sometimes they do like perfectly fine, but it's one of those topics that unless you present it in a very sort of map go change way, it's really hard to get traction in it. But I think that I'm doing okay. Why am I talking like this is a psychology appointment? You are not my therapist. I feel like I do this a lot. Have I read the book Gay Berlin, Birthplace of Modern Identity? I think I did during uni. I'm not super sure though. I have to look up the book to see, because I have a very bad memory. No, this was released after. After I graduated. I may have 2014. I may have read it in like during my university time. The name does remind me of something, so that's good. The problem with history is that people had a graded subject with that name in school. I agree. I 100% agree, by the way. It means that everyone has an opinion on it. Type of psychoanalysis with me, a god. What else is happening in the near future? I'm going to make this fucking video. Do I have anything else on my calendar for next month? I'm trying to see if like there's a project or something that I have as a deadline coming up in the next month, but I don't know. No, next month is kind of empty actually. I have to go to election school. Because I'm running. I mentioned this a lot of times, but I'm running for a local municipality. Municipal council seat, and as part of that I have to go to election school. I have to go and like talk to party leaders who will tell me how to be a politician essentially, because I'm going to be a first time politician, so they're going to tell me to be like, hey, do that. So that's happening, but that's not really relevant for my content. I'm still attempting at least to work on some sort of like fiction podcasts format. So that might be something that comes out relatively soonish. And I know I've said that for ages, but you know how it is. And then I also have, there are a couple of secret projects. There's so many secret projects. Most of them aren't going to see the light of day, and probably not next week. Probably not next month either, but they might come. Oh shit, thank you, Bari, and that is 40, and I don't know that currency. I have to Google that currency. Czech krona. Nice. I love a Corona. TwitchCon plans? When is TwitchCon? It's in August, right? No, it's in July. Do they still sell tickets? They are. Since they're still selling tickets, I'm not gonna promise anything. I'm not gonna promise that I'm gonna be there, but I would like to try. Just cause is VidCon happening in London this year? VidCon London. Probably not, because I haven't heard shit. Just nothing. Yeah, maybe not. And the other VidCon is in fucking California, which is too far. So we'll see if I can get there. I might attempt TwitchCon, not because I actually necessarily want to like go to visit like the convention itself, because I feel like that might be a bit of a boring thing. I feel like I've heard that the conventions are often like not very interesting, and the only one I think I would really want to go to is probably VidCon, just to say that I've been, because all of my fucking YouTube colleagues have been. I've never been to VidCon, because quick story note about this, by the way. So here's the fucking thing about me and VidCon. Last time I had an opportunity to go to VidCon was when I was in London in I think February of 2020, early February, because that was when I was recording a thing with Tom Scott for the Money Show that's on Nebula and also on his channel now, where my hair looks like a complete nightmare and I look like a clown. But VidCon London was happening that weekend, and I didn't go. Partly because I was broke, but also because I figured that I was going to save up some money and go to VidCon in LA, because VidCon London was like pretty much like just as expensive as the one in LA, but it was like way smaller, and like a lot of people were saying that it was going to be kind of trash. So I was like, okay, well I'll just save some money and go to the one in LA. And then COVID, so you know how that's turned out. And haven't been to VidCon since. Haven't been to fucking EduCon either, because I was also that weekend, and I was like, I'll go next year. Next month you begin your IRL Soviet Republic. How about the Karen wig? The Karen wig, it's going to be in my next video for a very short amount of time, but it's in there. Those innocent days. VidCon 19. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that they did cancel it. But like, holy shit. Apparently VidCon in London was also like maybe a spreader event in that February 2022, because I remember flying around then, because I was also in Mexico in January of that year, and there were like signs everywhere being like, hey, have you been to China? If you have signs of a cold, let us know. Like things of that nature. Before everyone really knew the scale of it. And apparently, like during that VidCon that I didn't attend, that was like a big spreader event. In those early days. The symptoms of VidCon 19 are excessive gurning and hoping that you didn't send any weird DMs. And fever. At least from what I've heard. When will you be back on the relationship problem? I'll be back when they want me to be back. I'd love to be back. But I don't wanna like slide in their DMs and be like, hey, when will I come back? Like, I don't wanna, you know, it's their thing, and I don't want to what do you say? I don't want to impose. But I do know that we have talked about it, and I know that is something that is like it's in the works. So it's coming. Hopefully one day. But I don't want to impose myself on the podcast. I love it fucking though. I love Well There's a Problem, and I love guesting on there. I love Kill James Bond when I guested on there too. Things of that nature. That's just being a lesbian. It is. Go ask them. They want you back on. We have talked. They have to make the move though. It's their podcast. Will you come on my podcast? Yeah, fuck it. Send me an email. You can if you go to the About page on my YouTube page, you will find my business email, and if you send it there, I'll see it with like details and stuff like that. I love to. I love guesting on podcasts. This is like I honestly like if you're a YouTuber or a podcast creator or whatever, and you wanna collab, or you want me to do some voice stuff, or you want me to get some podcasts, like send me shit. Like I love doing it. I don't think I've ever said no to anyone. I don't think. I'm not sure. I'm a podcast vampire. It is what it is. What about the Stargate podcast you talked about a while ago? That is true. I did talk about that a while ago too, and I really wanted to do something like that, where we go through like each and every episode to analyze it, and because I was certain that it hadn't already been done. It's already been done. It's already been done, and like if I do it, it would be different, but it would be one of those things that like, it's such a niche format that unless I'm bringing something unique to the table, I don't really have an interest in doing it. Because at that point, to me, it's very much like you're essentially gonna get the same experience, especially if you're gonna like analyze the episodes. So that one's a little bit on the back burner. Aren't you scared of giving your voice to a message you don't support? Yes, I've actually done that like once or twice. Unfortunately, not to a message that I didn't support, I don't think, but to a creator or two that have gone on to say some pretty like cringe, shitty things, and that's, you know, that fucking sucks. I hate it when that happens, but I'd rather sort of take risks, and because like I still see myself as a small creator. I have 100,000 subscribers. I know I'm not a small creator anymore. Objectively, I'm not. I have a fucking award to prove it. So there's a part of me that wants to. I'd rather take the risk and support smaller creators, but you know, I can't take responsibility for what they go on to say that's shit in the future, or things like that. Like I'll do some due diligence to check if they seem to be on the level, but you know, if they said something cringe in one video 3 years ago that I haven't seen, you know, I can't do that much due diligence. And I know some YouTubers who just like won't do collabs with people that they aren't themselves fan of, so that they know that they're on the level. and that's fine. Like I don't mind that. Like that's a fine way to do in business. But like I want to, you know, I want to be approachable. I want to have that sort of like vibe of that people can send me a DM and that I will essentially answer, even though I'm hella fucking slow. Yeah. SGU is better than Stargate and SGA. I don't know about that. Stargate Universe is pretty good though. My hot takes on Stargate. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I have too many hot takes on Stargate. You know, maybe a few. Maybe I'll try it as a sort of like test thing sometime. Like maybe I'll do it as an irregular podcast, like unedited, so it's not a lot of work. Maybe, but I can't promise that. Have I missed something else that I was going to talk about today? I always forget. I'm such a bad. I'm such a disorganized mess. I love that your streams are really low-key and accessible. I always want to have the aesthetic of being approachable and like a chill vibe. I always want to. I always try to sort of dance on that balance edge of like avoiding parasocial relationships, but also sort of like being an approachable creator, because you know, like I started out as, how do you say, like I started out as a fan of many of the YouTubers that I watch. Like, you know, 5 years ago, you know, I was a fan of, you know, I was only a fan of people like Sean, H Bomber Guy, Counterpoints, Philosophy Tube, like those people, and with like not knowing any of them, not having anything, and and you know, I'm not saying, you know, everyone has like their own approach, right? But like I have, coming from the perspective of a fan, it's to me at least, like I feel like I make the content that I enjoy, and I want to sort of have the energy that I enjoy, you know, and I like content that is like very accessible. I like streams that are a little bit low key and like very vibey. I like videos that are that way too. So that's sort of the vibe that I have, if that makes sense. I've not seen the new. I have not seen Natalie's new video though. Not yet. I probably will, but not yet. Have I considered making a video on paradox tiles? I have. This is true. I have done this. I haven't done it, but I have considered doing it. And I considered doing it for April 1st, but then I'm, you know, tired and stressed. Don't want to do that. And I do one day actually do want to make a video on the Paradox Interactive game library, because I play those games like a lot, and I'm really into those games. But I also feel like they have something interesting to say about history. I would have to think about that a bit more, and like actually come up with something interesting to say. Because if I just make a video about like that only interests me, that's fine. But I also want to make something that's also fun to watch. But on the other hand, I also like know some people who work at Paradox, because it's a Swedish company in Stockholm, who are like in the game, who, you know, work in the games industry. And I used to be a video game reporter before I did YouTube. And before I got my degree, I wrote like news articles and reviews for IGN Sweden, and during that time, I got to know some people at Paradox, and like over time, you know, as I've established like my own brand, sort of, I've also gotten to know some people at Paradox, And there's a part of me that also like I don't want to like I don't want to risk that like that like friendly energy that we have, because I feel like if I made something about their video games from a historical perspective, I'd probably be a little critical. Like I'd probably be a little bit like, this game is like damaging to public discourse because it like it's oversimplifies history to the point of map code change. But the thing is, like, it wouldn't be directed to them, right? Like, because they know all of that stuff. It would be directed at like a mass audience who might not be as familiar with the games, or who might not be as familiar with like the process of making video games. Because, you know, like I've talked to developers about like some of their history games. Like they know the problems with it, but you know, at the end of the day, they have to make a video game. So you know, it's one of those balancing acts. Bimbo energy. I have so much fucking bimbo energy right now. My head is... Ugh. Do I know Natalie? Since I named her in the video. I'm not gonna talk about like who I know or not, or like I'm not gonna talk about like... I'm not gonna mention like how much I talk to any individual creator. I'll say that. I'll say that I think I'll say that I think I'm on good terms with her. I'll say that. I don't know if she feels that way, but like I'm not gonna dig into those details that much. I had no idea Paradox was Swedish. Yeah, they're based in Stockholm. They used to have a tower that they called Paradox Tower. They called it Paradox Tower. It was really called something else because they used to be in like a big skyscraper building, like pretty high up. That also houses like a bunch of other video games. Stockholm has a lot of video games, video game companies. Yeah, exactly. This is in the cafe. But I'll say this, like not just with Natalie, but like with any creator, that like even if I don't talk to them, I like to stay on good terms with everyone, and I like to think that essentially all YouTubers who sort of like share like an online space with, that I'm on good terms with them, or they don't know who I am. So it's one of those. Great city to visit, terrible city to live in. I mean, you're not wrong. Stockholm is like Berlin in that way, I've heard. Any European capital, great to visit, hate to live in it. Then again, I don't know. I live here and it's pretty fine. And if you go to Stockholm, like there's a non-zero chance you'll see me like walking around taking the subway. Because there's been a lot of people who like recognize me like on the bus recently. Essentially, this is a weird thing, right? Can I talk shit for like a second? I recently 100,000 subscribers. Great, love it. Great shit. It's great. I get maybe like if I'm lucky like 100,000 views on a video, maybe more if I'm really lucky. But you know, like I get my subscribers worth oftentimes of viewers, and that's good. That's a great metric to like consistently hit. I'm a good YouTuber, I like to think. But roughly 4% of my audience is from Sweden. Just 4%. Not a lot of people. Less than 10,000 people. from Sweden. Every fucking time I get out. Not every time, but most of it, like a lot of times actually, like a significant amount of times, when I leave my house to like go and do errands in town, people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you Mia Mulder?" And I go, "Yeah, that's me." And they go like, "Yeah, I like your videos, yeah." And then, you know, we have an awkward interaction and we move on. And I always hope that I'm like a good, approachable person to be with, but I also know that I'm so fucking socially awkward because I'm like sitting on my phone and like, hey, yeah. But anyway, the point that I'm saying here is, it's surprising that like people recognize me in fucking Stockholm. Maybe I'm just really eye-catching, being 2 meters tall. Where's your play button hanging out? I still haven't put it up. It's still in the box. Why? Because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But I show it off every fucking stream now, but like, here it is. So, but still haven't put it up. Back in the box you go. I'm gonna frame it and put it up here eventually, but I haven't had the energy on time yet. The catching goblin mode on the subway. They do, and I love it. Listen, if you're watching this and you have caught me being goblin mode on the subway, that's fine. I hope you keep doing it. It's like I don't mind it, but y'all gotta know that like you're catching me off guard, cause like I'm like sitting in the subway, sort of like on my phone, like pure goblin mode, like not having had lunch, like running around in the sun all day, like sweaty. I'm like carrying like 4 different things because I've been shooting somewhere, and I love saying hi, but like I just hope that I give a good impression to you. That reach back, you gotta admit that I'm really like I'm a long person. The text behind me says listen to Leechfest, which is the medical history podcast that I co-host. Tall posting intensifies. But like, honestly though, like I have a long reach. I have a big wingspan. You don't see this because you're looking at me through this camera, and you only have like the perspective of like a normal camera angle. But like, I'm really fucking tall. Yeah, the hobgoblin. Stop. I need to tall post more as well. Speaking of tall posting, I'm considering, cause my next video is going to be about trans stuff, and it's going to be emotional. I might have some tall posting in line for that one. My next one is like purely history focused. It's maybe the most history videos that I've ever done, and they never do well. So we'll see how that one goes. But after that, I'm gonna do a video on like trans emotion, personal anguish sort of bullshit, and that one I'm sure I can squeeze in some tall posting for you. I am 2 meters tall, yeah. Okay, sorry to bother you. This has actually been the scenario from a lot of people. They come up to me, they ask who I am, I confirm, they tell me they like the videos, and then they like immediately bounce. Like sometimes if I'm not doing shit, like I can talk. This has happened like multiple times, where like I'm like settling in for like a quick conversation, and they're like, okay, bye. And I know you want to be respectful. I know it, and I respect it, and I know it. But you don't have to. Unless I'm in a rush, you don't have to. My biggest fear is that during these conversations that I'm having, that I'm coming off as too much humble braggy. Because again, I want to convey authenticity, and if I start humble bragging too much, this will go away. So I've now complained about 2 diametrically opposed things. Yeah. Welcome to my life. What else can I talk about? I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think so. The formalities have been done, right? Like the month that has been, nothing, because the new video isn't out yet, so you don't know anything. You haven't seen it. And the month is coming up. A new video is going to be out on Tuesday. The next video is going to be out on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, depending on like whether or not I'm happy with it on Tuesday, which right now is a little, I don't know about that. And yeah, like after that, it's gonna be like a video. Like it's gonna be a video in June, July. There's gonna be a video for every single month of for the next of the year now. Like I took a little bit of extra time to sort of make sure that the research on this one was good, and that there's so that this video is like as good as I want it. Also to give me a little bit of time to sort of like not stress too much about it, which I appreciate, because oftentimes I do stress about my videos. Not for this one, which I'm very happy about. But for every single other month, there's going to be like one every single month, like ba 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 ba. Because I wanted to make content. You're not a millennial. I am a millennial. What are you talking about? I'm 29. Will there be a premiere, or will it come out? Will it come out when it comes out? I think it will have a premiere. It depends. If it's coming out on Wednesday, almost definitely a premiere. Almost definitely a premiere if it comes out on Wednesday. If it comes out on Tuesday, I'm not sure. If it comes out on Tuesday, I may release it like in the middle of the night, and then I might not have it. More humble than brag, that's good. But I do want to have more premieres, because I like premieres for a couple of reasons. One, nice chat interaction. Two, immediate gratification, because people can tell me if they like it or hate it, and I need constant validation, which is why I became a YouTuber. And third, selfish reason, is it's good for the algorithm. People typing in the chat for the premiere makes the video sort of like more promoted. It makes it more like interacted with, and it helps spread the video, which is good. Please don't burn yourself out. This is why it may be out on Wednesday. I could for sure have it out on Tuesday. 100% I can't have it out on Tuesday. I don't want to work too hard. I'm not gonna like work until like 3 a.m. to finish a video anymore. I've stopped doing that, and it's great for my mental health. But that means it might also take another day or so. If you ever need any art stuff for your videos, no, guy, it's me, I'm the guy. I might contact you. I actually commissioned an artist for this video that I'm making right now. So this one already has some art, but I might contact. It might be good. I wanna start like doing that more. Like waiting for a TV show. Yeah, I like that. Did anything happen with the other potatoes in the sack, or did they fizzle out? No, they all fizzled out. I think I had like a Tumblr blog called like Political Potato. No, sorry, fuck. Personal Potato, or Potato Personal. Yeah, Potato Personal. I think I had a Tumblr account for a while, and then I got a new one, which I never advertise because I post like twice a year on that one. Take your time. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I do have a sponsor for this video, which means which means deadline is a deadline. Will it be up on Nebula the same day? Yeah, it will be up on Nebula the same day. They've changed how Nebula uploads work on the creator end, which means it will more reliably be up on Nebula the same day it goes out on YouTube, which is a good thing. So it will be up there on the same day. The YouTube game is rough. Yeah, you're telling me. Is it getting a dopamine fix? I'd compare it more to like heroin, honestly. Because I'm addicted to it and I need it, and if I don't get it, I feel like I'm going to eat dirt. Save it for Wednesday. No. Like, listen, it might be done on Tuesday. I'm not sure. We'll see how much work I have left. You never know before it's over. You know? I promise this up to Nebula as soon as I get a steadier income. That's you don't have to. It's fine. My videos are on YouTube as well, and I don't have exclusive videos on Nebula yet. But I don't have any there yet, so. This is true. Maybe my comparison was a little shitty. How did you get into Nebula? Okay, listen. First of all, I need to end the stream because we're like 10 past. I'm going to answer some questions though. So feel free to like dump some quick, and I'll do like a quick fire round where I answer questions because I have to end the stream because I have to edit. Yes, video is going to be out on Tuesday. The goal is for it to be out on Tuesday. And for patrons, for certain patrons, $20 and up, you're gonna see like an early draft version of the video that is not completed, by the way, on my Patreon, and then on Tuesday the final one will be up for the world. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. All right. Quick fire round to see if I forget. Weird business question. How did I get into Nebula? I talked to a certain creator called Abigail Thorne very early in my YouTube career and asked questions about how to be a YouTuber professionally. And she tipped me off to Standard. So I contacted Standard. Which is the company that runs Nebula, the streaming site. So I contacted them and be like, hello, I am a YouTuber. I would like to get money, please. And they were like, yes, okay. And then I got on. Nebula is more profitable for creators. Yeah, and infinitely much more. YouTube ad revenue is like dog shit. I'm gonna write that email. I might reply to it later in the week, probably when I'm done with the video. I'm really bad with replying to DMs and emails when I'm working in the final stage of a video, but I'll get there. An extra day of polish and less stress is always good, unless you're me, where last minute work is where I make my best work. That's what I do though. I make my best edits 2 hours before the premiere is out. What am I reading right now? I'm reading Detransition Baby by Tori Peters, which is a very good book. That's the one I read for fun. If you want to hear the one I don't read for fun, it is History, Fiction or Reality by Anatoly Fomenko, Volume 4. Which is so fucking boring. Don't look into it too much, because it's the subject of my next video. Muppet Christmas Carol, or I haven't seen anything about the Muppets. Oh shit, thank you, Estoy. Estoy Akula. Thank you so much for $20. Thank you so much, holy shit. Oh, thank you. Me and Mulder Russia, 2 hours before premiere editing. It's a bit. Listen, only if you feel like comfortable like doing it. Like, I would never want to force anyone to get Nebula if they don't want to. But if you want a good deal on it, go to curiositystream.com/meandmulder for a package. You'll hear that on Tuesday. All right. Reading that signed copy. I am. All right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for hanging out. Did a little bit of a 10 minutes extra. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for all the super chats, which I didn't even know that I had that on this channel. So thank you so much. And I'm going to bounce. Essentially, I'm going to. What's the dab thing you do after donation? I just do it. It's something that I do on Twitch, and now I'm used to it. Okay. All right. Dab. Bye, folks. See you on Tuesday, hopefully.